Today I'll be doing Beyblade physics on Wizardrod 570 disc ball. And for sample base I have Rhino Horn 460 low flat and this Wizardrod's pre-evolution Wizard Arrow 480 ball. I'll start by going through the parts of Wizardrod. The bit is disc ball. It takes a ball, the exact same shape of ball, and adds a disc to it. And to make a little bit more room for the disc, that adds another millimeter of height, which I can demonstrate. Well, first I should go over the ratchet maybe. The ratchet is 570. It has 5 points of contact, matching with the 5-sidedness of the Wizardrod blade, and a 70 millimeter height. So, if I compare that with Wizard Arrow 480 ball, they're actually, as you can see, about the same height, because though the ratchet is shorter, the bit is taller. And if I switch the bits, that more easily demonstrates now Wizard Arrow is clearly taller, right? So disc ball is a little bit taller than ball, same shape. And the Wizardrod blade, you may notice that all the weight is on the outside of the blade. There's not any metal on the inside. Wizard Arrow, by itself, looking at the underside, you can see it's pretty hollow and most of the weight is on the outside. So Wizard Arrow has fairly good outer weight distribution, but Wizardrod is even better because even the prongs are plastic. With Wizard Arrow, the prongs are metal. So it just has, Wizardrod has more outer weight distribution, is what I'm trying to say. Let's get into some sample battles so I can demonstrate more properties. I'll start off by battling these two. I suppose I should also weigh these to see, like, does the absence of metal in the middle of the blade make it lighter or heavier? It is, like, the size isn't too much bigger, I don't think. Wizardrod, the full combo, weighs 45 grams. I have a scale off screen. And Wizard Arrow weighs 40.6 grams. So it's like 5 grams heavier than Wizard Arrow. That's not a whole lot, but still a little bit. Let's go ahead and do a battle between these two. They're both stamina types, so let's see how their stamina compares. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. You may notice I launched Wizardrod first, but it still wins, proving that it has better stamina than Wizard Arrow. The better outer weight distribution helps in stamina, and it's also less off-balanced than the Wizard Arrow blade. But stamina types do have a disadvantage against attack types. And the opposite of outer weight distribution is central weight distribution, like what Rhino Horn has. Right now, Rhino Horn has the best central weight distribution in X, and Wizardrod has the best outer weight distribution. So stamina versus attack, let's see what happens here. Wizardrod gets 1 point. I haven't weighed Rhino Horn yet, so let's see how much this combo weighs in comparison to Wizardrod. 41.5 grams. So it's a little bit, this combo Rhino Horn is a little bit heavier than my Wizard Arrow, but it's still not as heavy as Wizardrod. I'll do one more match between these two. Let it rip. I angled Rhino Horn a lot that round, but Wizardrod still wins. So as you can see, even though it's at a tight disadvantage against Rhino Horn, it still wins for 2 main reasons. One is that outer weight distribution has a lot more stamina than central weight distribution. Central weight distribution is going to spin your blade faster. Outer weight distribution is going to spin slightly slower but conserve spin better. So if it can outlast all of Rhino Horn's hits, then it's probably going to win by spin finish. The other reason is that even if it's a stamina blade, the Wizardrod blade is very rounded. As you can see, compared to Wizard Arrow has several edges to it. Probably more edges than Rhino Horn, because Rhino Horn is designed to be defensive. But Wizardrod has a very rounded blade, which gives it some decent defense as well. So it's a very good blade to use. But how do you make it better? Also, before I go on to some other better combos with this, I would like to mention that disc ball, the main advantage of the disc is to prevent scraping. You see, with other discs, if you tip over enough, you're eventually going to make contact with the ratchet and maybe even the blade, and you can lose a lot of stamina that way. But this wide disc makes it so that for most blades and ratchets out right now, even if you tip over a lot, you're not going to make lose stamina from scraping on the ratchet and blade, because the disc protects for that. So that's the main advantage to using disc ball over ball. But the main disadvantage is the height, because that exposes the ratchet a little more and gives you a little less burst resistance. But I still think disc ball is worth using. So how can you make Wizardrod better? It's a very wide blade, so a lot of people like to use 560 on it. 560 is the ratchet right now with the smallest area. So if you put that on Wizardrod, that makes it very hard to get at the ratchet. And it's also lower than 570, so that also puts the ratchet lower, better burst resistance. I'm sure, well, yeah, I'll get to that. And I've noticed that as far as the 9-sided ratchet goes, most of the burst hits aren't actually from the points, they're from this curved underside, which is more prominent than these points itself, so it's very hard to, it's not impossible, but it's difficult to get at and burst 960. So many consider it to be the best ratchet in the game right now, and many consider Wizardrod to be the best blade in the game right now, probably. So what bit do you put with that? I've seen many people like to use either ball or orb, but I think there's an even better bit that's out right now. Recently, free ball was introduced. It's got a slightly different shape than ball, and it's more free spinning than normal. All bits and X free spin, but there's sort of a ratchet to it. Free ball doesn't have the same grooves as other bits. I'm taking away that ratchet mechanism, so it just spins freely. And because it spins more freely than normal ball, that means less friction and better stamina. So I think Wizardrod 960 free ball might be one of, if not the best combos in the game right now. And I'll demonstrate by battling it again against these two. First up, Wizard Arrow. As you can see, it can still outspin Wizard Arrow with quite a bit of spin to spare. Now let's try 1 or 2 battles against Rhino Horn 460 low flat. Now, because of the low flat, it is still a bit lower than Wizardrod, but they have the same ratchet height, so like it's not a whole lot lower. Let's see how that goes. It's not as much lower as it was when Wizardrod was on 570 disc ball. Let's just say that. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Three extreme dashes. I think Wizardrod got that. That's a lot of stamina to go through. Yep. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. I'll try once more. Get in there, Rhino Horn. Ooh. That one was definitely the closest one so far. There was some big hits at the end there. But still, for a stamina type, Wizardrod has pretty good defense. And this combo amps up both the defense and stamina of Wizardrod compared to its stock combo. So, all said, Wizardrod is a really strong Beyblade. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.